All right, guys, I have a question for you. Are you suffering from mobile guilt, or do you even know what mobile guilt is? Well, we found out about a survey that shows a new group of workers have cracked the code on how to use technology to improve our lives.
That's right. I spoke with an expert to find out more. Well, about a quarter of working Americans feel guilty when mixing work and personal communication. Our mobile devices keep us connected, but the always-on lifestyle can create high levels of guilt and low levels of job satisfaction. Expert Ojas Rege joins us this morning to share some insight on how much we engage in personal activities during the workday and how much we work when we're supposed to be off the clock. Good morning. Thank you so much for joining us this morning.
Good morning. It's nice to be here.
Now let's start with, what is mobile guilt?
Mobile guilt is the feeling like you're using your mobile device to steal time. So you're either stealing personal time to do work, or you're stealing work time to do personal. This year we ran our very first MobileIron Gen M survey, and we uncovered a new demographic that constantly uses mobile to mix work and personal, and they feel really guilty doing it.
Okay, so Ojas, who are these worst offenders?
Who is Gen M? There are two sets of people that are best represented by Gen M. So the first is actually parents with kids under the ages of 18 at home. And I can completely relate to that as a dad. Mobile is my lifeline to stay in touch with what's happening at home. The second group is young men ages 18 to 34. And we always hear about how much that demographic loves gadgets. And what we found in the survey is honestly that they probably like their gadgets a little bit too much. 56% of them use their smartphone to do work while in the bathroom. So if Joe down the hallway lends you his iPhone, just say no.
Well, that right there is very good advice. These are some shocking findings, I have to admit. Now, Ojas, what is some of the ways that we can actually get over this mobile guilt?
Guilt comes from feeling like you're doing something wrong. And usually people feel like they're the only ones doing it. What the Gen M survey tells us is that you're not alone, that this is very common, that this is a new work style. This connected culture that we live in is also changing the way that we work. What we're hoping is that by releasing this data, that companies will read this and that they'll actually wake up and catch up to this new work style that their employees are telling them we've got to have. You know, these folks are saying, I'll quit my job if you don't let me do this. So it's time for companies to really address mobile guilt.
Well, absolutely. And now there's also this different kind of technology called wearables. Now, how are we planning on using these wearables while we're at work?
Well, wearables are very hot right now because of the Apple Watch. The Apple Watch is going to be most people's first experience with a wearable. It comes out this month. And Gen M can't wait. So almost 40% of Gen M said that they're going to buy a wearable, which is most likely going to be a smartwatch. And 95% of them say they're going to use it for work. So that's interesting. I've got a computer on my arm. I'm going to use it for work. I'm much more connected than I was before. And honestly, I'm probably going to feel a little bit guiltier too. So it's yet another catalyst for companies to really rethink how they support their employees. Because we really can't have the guilt there. We need to make people productive and happy without making them feel guilty for doing the things they do.
Well, exactly. And I know around our studio, this new wearable technology is kind of all the hype. So this is really great information to be sharing with our viewers today. Ojas, where can we get more information?
You can go to mobileiron.com/GenM, as in Generation Mobile. And there are two things there that I think that folks will find interesting. The first is a quiz. So you can find if you really are part of Gen M and how guilty you feel. I think folks will have fun doing that. The second piece, a little bit more serious, which is a set of recommendations for employers to be able to adapt to this new work style and really address Gen M proactively.
Well, again, some really great information this morning for our viewers, and we will definitely make sure to visit the website for more information. I want to thank you so much for joining us this morning.
Thank you very much for having me.
Now stay where you are. We will be right back after this commercial break.